Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing most anticipated game Tekken 8. The publisher is ready for the launch of the 8th entry in the mainline series with Tekken 8. And after almost a decade-long wait, the hype for the new game seems to be higher than ever. Before we jump into the detailed review, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Now let's jump today's video. Usually, I start my game reviews with the main story featured in the game, but in fighting games, as we all know, the story takes a backseat. These games are largely judged and enjoyed based on fighting mechanic. Tekken has taken a deviation from its usual playing style in this game, and it feels a lot faster than the previous games in this series. Tekken is a Japanese fighting game series developed and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment that saw its first release back in 1994. You might have already seen some of the games from this series running on arcade gaming machines with players smashing the buttons in a frenzy and performing increasingly complex moves to earn bragging rights among their friends. The first game I played in this series was Tekken 3 that released in 1997, and I was immediately hooked. The game was revolutionary for its time and leaps ahead of its contemporary fighting games, while Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter had already developed a loyal fan base. Tekken came like a breath of fresh because of its unique fighting style. On top of this, the game even featured a rich storyline that helped captivate the player's attention and gave meaning to the battles and rivalries. The father-son duo of Kazuya Mishima and Jin Kazama lock their heads once again in Tekken 8. And the story begins with Jin losing some of his special powers. Kazuya, who is consumed by power, announces the commencement of the King of Iron Fist tournament, a fighting tournament where fighters from around the world take part to show their prowess and decide the fate of their respective countries. Jin takes part in this hardly fought tournament, which is interrupted in the middle. And soon enough, the fate of humanity is at stake with the war between Kazuya-led G Corporation and the fighters who took part in this competition. If we talk about the story, this is not a multi-layered tale that is hard to follow. The story, which spans 15 chapters, is primarily focused on the relationship between Jin, his mother, and Kazuya, while Jin overcomes his personal struggles to overcome his father. He finds some friends along the way who make it easier for him to take down Kazuya. One of the main caveats of this story mode is that the outcome of your fights doesn't impact the story. Whether you win or lose a battle, the story progresses in the same direction. However, I would say that this is one of the more compelling storylines that have been featured in a Tekken game to date. There is also a section in the game that lets you catch up on the stories from previous games in the series to keep you updated even if you are new to this series. Tekken 8 features a new control scheme, special styles biles aimed at simplifying the fighting experience for new gamers. It lets you perform otherwise complex combos by tapping the same button thrice. This new control scheme also lets you perform special moves with just one button. There is also the brand new heat system, which helps you combat your opponent's attacking moves. You can activate heat manually by tapping a button to go into heat burst. Heat burst has a power crush option, making it a good defensive tool when under pressure. Notably, heat can also be activated by going into specific moves during a combo called heat engagers. Depending on your character, you can do the combo challenges to learn ways to use heat offensively this way. Tekken 8 brings a host of game modes with it, some from previous games and some entirely new. Overall, the game offers a good mix of game modes to keep players engaged irrespective of whether they want to play online or offline. This game mode lets you fight against AI ghosts created based on AI learning of your own play tendencies. This means that if you continuously use certain moves to defeat your opponents, it will consider that just like a real player would usually do and attack you accordingly. The series has taken a different direction compared to previous games in the graphics department with Tekken 8. The game has moved towards photorealism with the use of Unreal Engine 5, and this opens a world of possibilities. Some notable aspects in terms of graphics are hair physics, destructible environments, and implementation of slow-mo visual representation of certain special moves. This type of game mode might have worked in the early 2010s, but right now it feels dated and adds little value for anyone who has played the game before. However, Tekken 8 is a great fighting game in its own right, but most of its new experiments do not prove to be game changers. For the fans of this series, this game is a must-buy, and with the new control scheme, even newcomers would find it easy to pick up the controller and play this game. So what are your thoughts and what you think about this game? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gaming updates. Until next time, happy gaming,